Today, does anyone actually remember what happened this year? Let's find out. This is CheckPoint.
Hello and welcome to CheckPoint, where today we have decided to do some special end of the year content for you that's not just another clip show of our favorite stories of the year, because that's coming next week. Today we are doing a quiz. Paul and I put together a quiz to see how much you too remember about the news, because honestly, both of you are surprisingly well informed.
Oh, I try.
Yeah. I did say, please don't look at any of the end of the year news summaries while I'm working on this.
And I didn't.
Did you get that missive, B?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I just decided that I just do what I normally do, which is not read anything until 2 in the morning. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'll just not read anything now either. Yeah, great.
Just go to bed.
Yeah, just go to bed.
Perfect.
All right. So, basically, here's the deal. I've got some simple trivia questions for you. You can just tell me the answers, or you can take a stab at the answers.
All right.
Oh, even better, thank God.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, let's get to our first question of the year. It's the best of the year. Yes. But the best of the year is very subjective. So I don't want to be like, what is your favorite game of the year? What is your favorite game of the year? Because Beach is going to say Tears of the Kingdom, and then that's going to be the end of it. No, I'm talking about best by the only metric the industry cares for, which is sales.
Oh,
Raw
yes.
sales data. Obviously, the most acclaimed game this year was Baldur's Gate 3. But is love equal to sales? So what game do you two think had the most sales this year in 2023?
I do remember seeing something about this a couple weeks ago.
All right.
And I believe it is alleged, certainly by Warner Brothers, that Hogwarts Legacy
Sold the most.
is weirdly the best-selling game of the year. But that is disputed because the NPD, which is the firm, the body that tracks these things,
Right.
tries to include physical and digital sales. But as I understand it, Nintendo has not provided digital numbers
Yeah.
for Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
which has already physically sold nearly as many. I think if we include digital sales that are unreported,
Right.
Hogwarts Legacy is maybe fourth. I don't know if you have sort of a granularity on this, but I believe that's the case. That people were like, really? Because even despite all of Rowling's personal nonsense, that game is mid.
Yeah, at best.
Yeah.
Beach, do you have any strong opinions about this?
Normally I would just be like, if Nintendo's not releasing digital numbers, then it's probably likely that Tears of the Kingdom is in that top 3. Because otherwise I'd just be like, oh, well, it's video games, so Madden or FIFA or whatever game it is that people play that came out that is a sports game that I don't even go anywhere near. That's
There is
the
a
thing.
Madden on this list.
Is there really?
Oh, yes.
Of course.
I don't know why when I said Madden, I was like, ain't no way there's a Madden on this
There's
list.
a Madden on this list.
There's
you know what?
there's a
Beach?
Call of Duty on the list, I assume.
Oh, Beach, Madden comes in at number 5.
Okay, all right.
Number 5. I've got it now. I got to keep my score here.
Is it 2024's Madden? Is that what they called it, or was it 2023?
Yes, Madden NFL 24.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, they do that model year thing they do in the car industry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, excellent. Oh, good job. All right, Graham,
Yeah.
you said there'd be a Call of Duty on there?
Has to be.
Yeah, always.
Now, do you know anything that there is, but do you know anything that's special about the Call of Duty game on this list, and why it's special that it's on this list?
I know that they just released Warzone 3, which is the third version of their Battle Royale. Their very high time to kill Battle Royale variant. Is this Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 the second time? Is that the thing that they've
the
done
sequel,
again?
the repeat?
So
Is it
close.
the one with
It is-
Eminem?
It is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 the
Yes.
second time.
Okay.
The second Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, bracket 2023. That is not the reason it's new. The reason it's new is because it's literally new to the list as of the year-end list. This is the first time it shows up because it came out last month. But do you know where it is? Number 2.
Okay.
Call of Duty is preposterous.
Do you think they talk about the, like, maybe there's also the attach rate? Like, Heather got a PS5 just recently, and I think it has Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, whatever the name of the character is, like, plastered on the front of the box, and I'm like, I think it's because it comes with a copy of the license. Do you think they are actually reporting back all their licenses?
I have
Because
no
maybe
idea.
that's where it's like, oh, it's the most sold because special
So
deal.
it's already number 2.
It's already number 2.
My God.
So we've got 5 and 2.
All right,
Yeah.
let me just go through I'm just going
Yeah.
to tell you the rest of the
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
Sure.
Because I think it's interesting, but we don't want to be here all day. Number 10 is Starfield.
Really?
Makes sense,
good,
though.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 9 is Mortal Kombat 1.
Didn't expect that.
I'm surprised by that. They did take out an ad on Big Orb, though.
They did,
When we
yes.
were in Vegas, they had an
true.
ad for Mortal Kombat on Orb.
Yeah. Number 8, Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Wow.
Which, according to this official chart I've got, it's Star Wars : Jedi : Survivor.
I mean, that's
Colon Survivor.
this is a long running. I mean, we had it was Jedi Knight and then Jedi Knight Dark Forces.
Jedi Knight 2 Dark Forces, and it was Dark Forces 2 after that,
and
I
then
think.
Dark Forces 2 No, it was Dark
But the
Forces 2 Jedi
reverses.
Knight and
Yeah.
then Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
how that went.
Yeah.
They've always had problems.
Oh my God, Graham, I got to give you another point. Number 7 is Modern Warfare 2 2022, last year's Modern Warfare game.
But a new one, whatever. Fine.
Graham, you're destroying this round, let me tell you what. How do the points work? I don't even know. Then there's that aforementioned, then there's Diablo 4.
Oh, okay.
Madden NFL 24.
Good job.
There you go. Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Number 4. Tears of the Kingdom number 3 with an asterisk beside it. We'll get to that. Number 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And number 1, you were right, Graham, it is Hogwarts Legacy. But let me give you some notes from research firm Circana, aka NPD Group. They have rebranded.
Oh, have they? Yeah. Okay. Circana.
Basically,
Arise, Circana.
Haven't done a good job of rebranding if you don't know the new firm, so.
well, I feel like it's a bigger deal in other industries.
X, formerly Twitter.
I don't like NPD Group. I've been looking at their stuff for years. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, what? No, that's too fancy. I like that you were boring sounding. Anyhow, yeah, they got a big asterisk because this is not, and it's not just Nintendo. Other companies aren't as forthcoming with their digital sales numbers, and this also doesn't factor in how many things get downloaded when they're part of a Games Pass bundle.
Oh.
So if you buy something on Games Pass, you're technically, that counts
Because
as a purchase.
Maybe.
Maybe. Ooh, okay,
Because
so they don't know either.
Circana does not even report raw numbers. They just give you a ranked list.
I see, all right.
It's very opaque. This is the best data we've got, but it's like it's like trying to predict how many people watch something on streaming. Like that information is just not available in some cases.
It's so odd because you look at the movie industry and there's so many websites that have this because the movie studios are always like, here are all of our numbers. Look at how great we are. Look at the billions we've made down to the penny. Look at all the ticket sales we've had. And video game companies are like, we've sold so much, but we won't tell you.
Oh, how lovingly coy.
yeah.
To be honest, if Starfield was number 10 without Game Pass,
Yeah.
because like Starfield was like one of the big Game Pass games. So if it's number 10 on the list and that doesn't include Game Pass, that actually is impressive.
But it might include Game Pass from some companies and not from others, is the issue.
I see.
Because, like, other companies are certainly reporting their digital sales, but Nintendo famously does not.
If I were Microsoft, I would absolutely be counting every Game Pass install.
Regardless of whether
I
it's
would
played.
I would be reporting that to NPD to bump up the Starfield numbers.
Hell, if I was Microsoft, I would be reporting every time somebody looked at it on the store.
Yeah. Right, so that's like the thing. That's why they're the raw numbers. So basically, take all of this with a grain of salt. But according to the capitalism's best stab, that was the most sold games of the year.
All right.
Question 2. This was not, obviously, all good games this year. There was, in fact, several high-profile bad games. Can you guys think of some high-profile bad games?
Yes.
The day before.
That's the most recent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I just say that because the only one I could remember.
so I can think of 2 others that were
yeah.
also high-profile ones. Only one of which resulted in the closure of the studio. But there was, I think it's Skull Island: Rise of Kong.
Right.
Which was the
yeah.
official licensed King Kong game that was very bad. We played it on Watch and Play, which for those who don't know is our show where we play bad games, and it was dire. It's the one that there was the Twitter video going around of a cutscene where it cuts from Kong to a velociraptor, and it's clearly just a JPEG of the raptor in the world. Anyway, so there's that one. But the earliest one that I know of in the year of like, how did this allowed to be happened was the Gollum game. You remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
It was like PS3 looking, badly controlled. It was a game where you're just playing as Gollum, this weak, crappy little bastard, and you have to
survive.
Just survive, and everything kills you, including the controls, because you can't jump properly, and you just like whiff grabs all the time.
And what I'd heard about that was that was the one where it was like, this is their first time making a game like this, so go easy. And it's like, but you can't go easy on that when you're making like a licensed game. It's like, you know, you have people are going to come to this expecting a certain type of product because it is something you want to deliver on at this point, right? And it's like, yeah, if you're just going to kind of half-ass it, that'd be different if it was back in the 80s when Lord of the Rings was still like, you know, Ralph Bakshi animated and whatever. And it's like, oh, this is a really janky game. It's like, sure, you know, everyone would be fine with that.
But we've had Shadow of Mordor that looks better. That was for like, again, I think the PS2, PS3, no, there were Lord of the Rings games for PS2. Shadow of Mordor was several years old and looks better than Gollum, and everybody was like, this is inexcusable.
So what else was like worst though?
It's funny because you mentioned Diablo 4 on the bestsellers list, but I recall that didn't Diablo 4 have a pretty sharp drop off in like viewer or player engagement and response? Like, wasn't it like it sold well and then people were like, hey, wait, this sucks?
No, the games we're talking about here are fit on it's not just like disgruntled consumers levels of like negative feedback.
Redfall.
No, not Redfall. In fact, you've already named it, Graham. Once again, you're very prescient. According to the Metacritic lowest rated games of the year, because realistically, what other verdict do I have to go on that's not just, you know, at least this is some kind of aggregation. It is Gollum, rated a 34 on Metacritic. I have you've mentioned so many things about this, so great job once again. Did you know 4% of critics recommended it?
We should get their names.
Yeah, I would like to know why.
But you mentioned, Graham, that this led to the studio that's made its closure, correct?
Yeah, I think the Gollum studio. Do you remember the facts of that? I cannot remember. Beej was correct in that it was like this was the first time they made a game like that. They had a very short time span. I think the publisher the developer for Skull Island also was given like a year. The publisher for Skull Island, by the way, called The Game Mill.
Yes.
But they're still around, and I think the Gollum developer shut down, but I don't remember the details.
Okay, well, I'll just fill you in. So it is Daedalic.
Oh, Daedalic.
Daedalic Entertainment. They're from Germany. They had just done a bunch of like, you know, point-and-click RPGs before, very good. And they were basically, they closed their development division, but they left their publishing division open, which is something that basically most people got fired and maybe like one or two people kind of kept the business going. And they canceled their plans for a second Lord of the Rings game, obviously. So, and then on October, to follow up from the story after we'd all forgotten about how crappy this game was, a German magazine by the name of Game 2 reached out to ex-employees and worked there and found that it was a really horrible place to work in addition to that.
What a shock.
Yeah, they paid staff below minimum wage. Apparently the work environment was super toxic. And apparently they say the developer's apology statement that they put out after that was written by ChatGPT. So if anybody had that on their bucket lists, because it was a weird statement.
Bro.
It was a weird statement. Like at the time I was like, this is just so generic. But I guess you did your best.
There was that meme going around of just, it was like a 16 by 16 grid of like developer apology tweets of like the text on colored field as an image sent out on social media, and it was just like, you know, we hear you, we've under delivered, and we will be taking this time to listen, and it was just, we were getting it from so many people this year.
Yeah, so I think that's all about what we want to say about that. But the quiz must move on because we have some great news of the year.
Goody.
Look at that little gremlin.
Well, that little gremlin is no longer employed as of December 29th.
Woo.
We'll have a little ding-dong, the witch is dead, when he finally leaves. Of course, I just want to say we do not know the full financial breakdown of how his compensation package sort of has shaken out.
Oh, it's going to be preposterous.
Well, there's a lot of things that are offered. We'll be able to find out like next year because we'll have to look at filings and stuff like that. But for now, we can just do back and we can rake our memories to remember how much financial details can you remember of the Activision Blizzard deal. What do you remember? What are those price tags going around? Because there's a very famous number quoted for Bobby's golden parachute.
300 million.
300 million for his parachute, you say,
that or
Beige?
150.
I don't remember at all.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount of money, but it was like either 300 or 150 out of the $64 billion stock settlement package, I think is how it was all supposed to shake out.
Okay, Graham, what do you think it is?
I have no earthly memory of this. I assume, it's got to be more than 100 million, which is an absolutely...
100 million.
I said more than that, but yeah, I think Beach is closer.
Closest spell going over though.
Right, yeah, there you go.
So you saying 100? You say 300 million. You say 100 million.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
Okay, and what do you think the Microsoft sold was for? Like, how much do you think they paid for Microsoft?
Or how much Microsoft paid for Activision?
Yes, sorry.
It was like...
It was 64 billion, I thought.
64
total.
billion?
Where it was settled out, I thought.
Yeah, I wanted to say 6, but that doesn't seem like enough. So yeah, it's the biggest purchase ever for like a corporate merger, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't look
I'm
up
pretty
that
sure.
fact.
I've reported
I'm
on
not a
this.
full-time researcher.
I've reported on this so many
I
times.
know. That's why I'm asking
Well, and
you.
it kept going up, right? Because it was like there was like a 50 billion number, and then there was like 54, then 59, then 60 at some point. Somebody said, and what I thought that meant was that every time someone was reporting on it, they were like, no, you've got it slightly wrong. It's actually this. And somebody else was like, well, okay, it's probably about 55 billion then. Well, actually, it's more like 59 billion. Actually, it's more like 60 billion. We'll just round up to that in the headlines.
Okay.
Every subsequent journalist slightly rounding up to make the story sound more impressive.
I'm assuming.
That would be incredible. I love that reality warping. But let's get to some reality reporting, shall we? All right. Both of you, I guess we'll go with the highest without going over. Graham, you are the closest without going over.
Okay.
Because according to Axios' report, that's Stephen Totillo, who did lots of reporting on this and is a great resource to get this information from. The proposed golden parachute that Bobby Kotick would receive if Microsoft terminated his contract early was $15 million.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
goodness.
it. They did, however, extend his contract to March 2024. So I don't know if him leaving now is a result of him going out on his own terms or if that's him getting his golden parachute. We'll find out. The other thing is Microsoft's planned acquisition was $69 billion. So you're only off by a mere $5 billion,
I want to
Beige.
say
Nice.
69 because I thought it was going to be that stupid goddamn Elon Musk acquisition thing.
Yeah.
So
But here's the deal. But Bobby Kotick did get a little bit more money because in addition to his actual just compensation, he also gets shares. And remember, all of this is driven by increases to shareholder value, of which the CEO can be almost like the king shareholder almost.
Right.
It seems like an incredible conflict of interest when you really think about how these bonuses are calculated, that you can inflate the price of a company and ruin it so you can cash out big and then leave other people holding the bag. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, I digress. Bobby Kotick, early in the thing, was offered $22 million in stock options by July if he could get the company's culture to improve. Given that he just lost a big case and they're going to agree to pay $50 million to the state of California for sexual misconduct and harassment, I don't know if he got that. But anyhow, over the course of negotiation, Activision agreed that Microsoft would buy them for $95 a share. Kotick owns or has the right to acquire 6.5 million shares.
right.
That's so many shares.
Which would be worth, at the price Microsoft paid, $619 million.
That must be why I thought we were in the hundreds of millions for this compensation.
So, Beige, you lose on how much the golden parachute was, but you were much closer in the realm of his overall compensation for this deal.
And I was off by half.
We are dealing with a different species of human when you have that kind of money.
Everyone at Loading Ready Run and all of our families and loved ones and friends and just people who randomly walk near the moon base could retire to the tropics and still have enough money left over to form a small country. Like that's
to build so much housing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Here's the deal.
Build so much subsidized housing.
Honestly, you could easily combine all the salaries of Loading Ready Run and our families, and you wouldn't hit that 15 million golden parachute.
No. God.
Anyhow, and that's just if he got let go early. It's just a little soupçon. Now some people would say that stock isn't money, but you could get money for that stock.
You can use stock to make money.
Yeah, you can. It's like a chit that means money, but it's somehow more powerful.
I just hope, because there's no resolution to this where Bobby Kotick does not make an absolutely unfathomable amount of money. So I just hope that he takes that money and goes away forever.
Retire.
I do not want to hear like, hey, Unity has announced their new CEO. It's Bobby Kotick. Yeah, exactly, right? Well, they've made bad decisions in the past. I just like, great, good, Bobby, you're done. Just piss off. No fun cameos at the Game Awards for Bobby Kotick.
No. All right.
Only Reggie.
Yeah, only Reggie.
Only Reggie.
Only Reggie. Speaking of Unity, let's move on to the rapid fire round.
Ooh, fun.
Unity.
Hey.
What feature did Unity try to add to its famous game engine in September?
Ding.
Ding.
I don't
Okay.
know if we're buzzing in or what.
Yeah, it's a rapid fire round. Go for it.
A terrible share revenue thing where you had to pay Unity, you as a developer had to pay Unity for every instance of an installed game using their engine with like some major just trust us bro tracking for how they were going to determine those numbers.
Beige, do you remember anything about that?
I was going to say that they were adding they added because of Iron Source, they were trying to add a advertising provider they're trying to encourage developers to, like, you need to add ads to your game. Well, then you use our advertising platform, and how we're going to do that is carrot and stick you into by doing this. You're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay us if you don't use it. Roughly, yeah.
They said,
yeah. Well remembered.
According to, I'd forgotten that detail. Yeah, according to some secret anonymous reporting, Unity had said if they're like, hey, we just introduced this new thing that everybody hates, but you don't have to pay it if you move to our ad platform.
And everyone was like, your ad platform sucks. So I guess I'm screwed either way, aren't I?
Yeah. And no one likes John Riccatello.
No. Very well remembered. Does anybody remember what the thing was called? It had a fancy name.
It did, and I can't remember it. It was the Unity...
Ooh. Yeah, that was the first word.
Yeah. Great. Ding.
I'm a helper.
God, it was like the Unity...
Beige, do you remember?
Stream?
Not at all, no.
It was the Unity runtime fee.
The runtime fee.
We are introducing a Unity runtime fee that is based on each time a qualifying game is downloaded by an end user, the company shared in its blog. We chose this because each time a game is downloaded, the Unity runtime is also installed. Which means we chose this because then every time somebody puts the game on, we get to charge you. Right?
Yeah.
We also believe that an initial install-based fee allows creators to keep the ongoing financial gains from player engagement, unlike a revenue share.
What?
Yeah. And it's like, what?
And people were like, wait, so if someone buys our game and installs our game and then deletes it for hard drive space and then reinstalls our game later, that's a second charge? And Unity was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as it turns out, this was deeply unpopular and basically got completely rolled back, but it at just huge cost to Unity's reputation. One of the just like least thoughtful understandings of why people use it and the use cases for it. And like the the scale you get. But the issue is that like there's a lot of different kinds of companies that use Unreal Engine. And there's like they use Unreal Engine for like some car applications and stuff like that. And then this just lets them like charge Toyota just like a
Unity. They use Unity.
Toyota. But this lets Unity charge, like, say, Toyota, like just a fee every time it goes into a Camry.
Yeah.
It's great for them. But realistically, a lot of their, like, the people that, like, build the company want to use it like Photoshop, right?
Right.
You know. And then when you get games, when you do the bundles and the giveaways, and right, like the scale of which games go out does not necessarily equate the scale of which money comes in for them.
Yeah.
Right.
God,
Not to mention review copies and stuff like that. And
Don't give Adobe ideas. 'Cause they already have their subscription model. Can you imagine if they were like, we've decided to move away from a subscription model, and now just anytime anyone watches a video that you've edited with Premiere, we'll charge you a few cents for that.
Exactly.
And it's like, it'll only be a problem if you get like, if something goes viral. And it's like,
Yeah, but at that point, you're making a ton of money because everyone's watching it, right? It's like, yes.
yeah, you never even see that money. It just goes straight to us. It's fine. Anyhow, congratulations. Yes, correct. All right. It's Bij's favorite subject, Sonic's 30th anniversary.
Great.
But Bij, you keep talking about how it's his 30th anniversary. How old is Sonic really?
He's 38 years old, never kissed a girl.
32, right?
He's 32.
Yeah.
He's 32?
Beej knew that. Don't give me the point for that.
Okay, so Bij, you should get a point for your tragically hip reference.
Thank you.
I'm allowed to give those
The
out.
reason I remember better the fact that he's 32 is because our friend Jordan happens to share Sonic's birthday, and I was like, oh, I see that you were born, and then at some point Sonic came out. He's like, no, Sonic and I entered the world on the same day.
This is not Loading Ready Run
In the
editor
same
Jordan.
year. Not
This is-
that Jordan.
This is Jordan Hopkins,
Okay.
friend
so,
and Desert Bus
is
volunteer.
Jordan's birthday, are we prepared? Is it, could you...
His birth date is like July 28th or something ridiculous like that.
September 30th?
Is it?
No?
Well, all right. I
did-
didn't want you to name it anyhow because I don't want to put too many personal things
Oh,
out
he did
there.
a Desert Bus.
Yeah, he admitted to the world on Desert Bus.
Okay, well, both of you don't remember exactly what he
No.
said then.
No.
Because the first Sonic game appeared June 23rd, 1991.
You were so close.
So you were close, Bij.
Yeah.
But this is a fact that Paul hunted down. This is Paul's question, and such a good question. Sonic first appeared in Rad Mobile as a rear-view mirror ornament in October 1990. So if anybody had said 33, I would have taken it.
Wow.
What?
He was
They
just
did
a-
a cameo before his actual game was released?
Yes!
That's amazing.
Radmobile?
It was
Huh.
an arcade game.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure that he was like in the public consciousness so that he would be really great for when the Game Genie or the Game Boy or the for the Genesis.
Well, that worked. Everyone definitely remembers that he was
Yeah.
in Radmobile.
I mean, I remember Radmobile, I think, from Encino Man,
Oh, wow.
or as it's known in the UK, California Man.
All right.
I'm having a fun time diving off into
All right, we've
tangents.
got one last round for you.
All right.
This is the odd one out round.
Oh, fun. All right.
I'm going to show you 4 things, and you have to figure out what they are and figure out what 3 of them have in common and why one of them is the odd one out.
Great.
All right, are you ready to see your 4 things?
Yes.
You tell me what these things are when they come up. All right, thing number 1 on the left there.
That's Marvel Snap.
Okay, what do you know about that game?
It's a mobile game.
But also on other places as well, like on Steam, I
Yeah,
think.
you can get it on Steam. That's
Okay.
true.
Great.
Overcooked 2, that's Team 17, the sequel to Overcooked, we assume.
Yeah, yeah. That's available, I think, mobile and whatnot as well.
Yeah, 3. I mean, I'll tell you
it's
right now.
definitely Steam.
We've got the other ones. There was Hyperlight Breaker and Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Snap isn't a sequel to anything, because all the rest of them are sequels, are they not?
That's correct. But Diablo Immortal is a mobile game.
Right.
Snap is a mobile game. I don't know. Hyperlight Breaker's not a mobile game, is it?
I couldn't. I'd have to haul up my phone and check. I'm pretty sure you can play Overcooked 2 on your phone, yes. Pretty sure. Damn, now I don't know for sure.
The lead
This is a
developer,
devious question.
lead developer of Marvel Snap used to work at Blizzard. Mm-hmm. Is it anything to do with the people that made these games?
Hey, not really,
Not
but a little
really?
bit, maybe, kinda.
Ooh. Okay, Team 17. Shoot, what's the company that makes...
That's relevant.
Yeah, what's the company that makes Hyper Light Drifter? They made all those other great games.
Well, I'll give you a hint here. Did Team 17 make Hyper Light Drifter?
Or
published
Overcooked. They published it.
Yeah.
Who published... I don't know who published the other one. I mean, Activision Blizzard would have published Diablo.
Team 17 didn't get acquired by anybody, so it's not about mergers. Oh, that's really... Oh, but it is odd one out. One of these doesn't belong.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. So we've got to
yes.
find the commonality
Yeah.
between three of them.
Yeah.
Play along at home. Tell us in the YouTube comments what you think at this timestamp, what you think the odd one out is. Because I giggled so hard when I figured out what I would make this question. I'm quite pleased with this little brain teaser here.
Wait,
What?
but also Diablo and Overcooked and Hyper Light Breaker, are they not all action games? Because Marvel Snap is not an action game.
No, Marvel Snap's digital card game.
Right, so that's an odd one out right there, but I don't think that's what we're going for.
I don't
but that
think
is-
so either.
Yeah.
Also, like, I don't know if Overcooked is an action game.
In as much as you get to run around, like you have direct control of your character.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to chase down this
Breaker not
route.
have
The
multiplayer?
Hyperlight. Sorry, Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard. They were bought out. Was Team 17 acquired by something?
I don't think they...
Wait a minute. Does the developers? Is this about Embracer Group? Knowing you?
Broadly, yes. You're so close. Okay, what does Embracer Group do? They have a lot of companies, right?
They bought so many things, and then some sort of acquisition thing fell through, and they had to sell off a bunch of stuff.
Okay, so basically,
Is the odd one out Diablo Immortal?
yes.
Okay.
You
Okay.
have discovered that. Congratulations. I'm going to tell
Great.
you what I was thinking now because
Okay.
I don't think you're going to figure it out.
No, I don't
because
think so
I'm
either.
So evil. Marvel Snap, Overcooked, and Hyper Light Breaker all do not publish their own games. Okay?
Right.
And all saw their publishers this year, aka ByteDance for Marvel Snap,
ByteDance.
Team 17 for Overcooked, and Gearbox Publishing, aka an arm of Embracer Group, lay off staff this year. So all of these games had their publishers encounter issues this year, except for Diablo Immortal, which is by Blizzard and is published by NetEase, who's had a really banner year. They set up a bunch of studios. They haven't laid anybody off this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good for them.
Huh.
Shows what you can do with a great game like Diablo Immortal.
Yeah,
So-
isn't that generally considered the worst game on this list?
But yeah, so it
Hey,
was-
wait, odd one out. Diablo Immortal sucks.
Yeah.
Ta-ta-ta. Yeah, but yeah, this is broadly about Embracer Group because I'm going from a website called Videogamelayoffs.com, which is compiled by people who have like access to LinkedIn posts and stuff.
Oh, such a terrible taste in my mouth.
I know.
Why do we need this website?
But it seems to be the best updated resource I could find. It
Yeah,
basically
alright.
says it's about 9,000 people have lost their jobs this year. 1,000 people at ByteDance.
Jeez.
954 they've said at Embracer.
Wow.
And Team 17 has considerably less. It's like, I could look it up. It's like in the 60s or something like that.
Okay,
But like,
well.
they're not as big a company as some of these, but like a lot of companies have been doing things.
Hug your local game dev.
they've
Asterisk consensually, because that's been a problem at some studios too.
They've
Slip
had a
some
bad
uni
year.
literature into their pocket.
But yeah, I wanted to kind of end on the sad note that it's been a rough year for a lot of people.
Weird. We've hit the gaming. We saw it in the earlier questions. Some major highs and some bizarre lows this year.
And the bizarre lows, almost all of them predicated not because things weren't making money.
No.
things were, once again, making lots of money, lots of game sales. Like, the best, like, okay, so I talked about how Baldur's Gate was the most critically acclaimed game of the year. It was also the most concurrently played game on Steam decks in all of September or something like that. Like, tons of people playing. And it's not even on that top 10 list. And think about how many games, they've said they sold like 3 million copies of that game, and that blew their expectations out of the water. I don't know where Baldur's Gate 3 is on this overall list, and we can't find out. But just think about that. Think about how many copies these games are selling and how much money is being made.
Yeah.
And yet you're throwing people away, essentially, just because your bottom line isn't quite good enough, because every CEO wants to get that Bobby Kotick payout. Anyhow, so I'm going to say, Graham, you get a point for identifying the odd one out, but nobody could figure it out, which is fine.
No.
So at the end, the score is a tie.
Oh.
You both are equally well informed about video games.
Cool.
And that's it. Thank you so much, everybody. What did you think of our little quiz? Let me know in the comments.
I thought it was great.
All right. Thank you so much to everybody who supports us at our Patreon at patreon.com/lettingreadyrun. Lets us put on stuff like this. And all right, this has been the last non-clip show checkpoint of the year. Paul, thank you so much for your help. Heather, thank you for getting this online. And Bijan, Graham, thank you for playing.
Thanks
a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
Coming up, on December 13th, Twitch updated its guidelines to allow artistic nudity based on the old person assumption that artistic nudes meant life drawing. After 2 whirlwind days of nude VTuber models and how to draw hentai streams, the policy has been rescinded.